Hello, welcome back. This is under the playlist Spaces, and these are the 30 plus low vibe energies that I found within my aura and also the people that I work with in one-to-one sessions, clearing energy, and also people that pick up a copy of my book. They're using this list to have a list to start clearing energies from their aura that are affecting them in kind of a negative way. So I'm going to kind of slowly break down my energy list. So if you can just kind of bear with me. And this is a list that I've created that I have found these energies within many different aspects and spaces within my aura. And I'll give some examples of how that works and the benefits of going into a space and actually clearing the energy out kind of in a detailed way out of different spaces. But I'm going to go ahead and go through the list first. And as you're kind of listening along, kind of think how these energies or words or vibrations have affected your reality. And as I mention them and kind of describe some of them, just think of events in your life that you've had interactions with these energies with. So the first one is anger. And, even growing up, were your parents angry a lot? Did you get yelled at? You know, it's one kind of form of how we experience anger. If somebody's upset with us in anger. What about in a relationship? Have you been in a relationship and have been angry with somebody? Have you been angry at your job? Maybe you're not making the money that you'd like to make, or work keeps piling on your desk. So there's many ways that we can become angry. Have you been at the grocery store? Maybe someone's just been extremely rude or inconsiderate at the grocery store and you've gotten angry, with customer service. So just kind of start thinking about all the times that you've been angry. And all of these events live within our aura. We store our memories within our aura and within the cells in our body. And the more often we experience kind of like an energy of like anger or something along those lines, we start attracting more of that. So it kind of compounds. The more kind of angry events we have, the more we start creating that into our reality and out into our future. And we'll start attracting more events. The universe will put us in places where we're in that situation again and again and again until we start releasing that energy from our aura. Because our aura works like a magnet, it's constantly sending out a signal, and we're constantly receiving information through our aura and our chakras. And if you take an energy like anger, the more often it happens, the stronger kind of the magnet gets for that. And you get pulled in the direction of anger or in those types of situations. So that's just one example of an energy from my energy list. The next one is rage, and that's extreme anger. That might even be some kind of violence. If you've ever been in a rage, and usually people that go into a rage, they see the color red or their whole kind of vision goes blank if you've ever seen anybody in a rage. And I'm just thinking back because now I can have some humor about sometimes that I've seen people in a rage, but it's an extreme form of anger. Again, being in those situations and having those experiences, they can lead to other experiences until you start releasing that type of energy from your aura. And even if you are not the person that's actually in the rage, maybe you're just attracted to the person that's in a rage or that's rageful. You can still hold the energy within your aura, and it can be kind of dormant, but it can still live in there. And even though you're not in a rage, you can still be attracted to somebody that's in a rage. And I'm not saying like physical sexual attraction. I'm just saying they just start showing up in your reality. It's the next partner you meet, the next friend that you meet. And it may not seem like a big deal. Maybe you went out for drinks with a friend, but wow, when they have a couple of drinks, they're starting a fight at the bar. You know what I mean? So it's attracting those situations again for rage. So kind of think about those times in your life where you may have been around somebody that's been in a rage, or maybe you've got that family member that's always in a rage or something like that. The next energy from my list is the energy of the victim. And, um, just with our words and our thoughts, if something's happened to us that's kind of negative, or we've been a victim of something, we can start feeling like the victim. And this doesn't mean that things haven't happened. But once we get into that mentality and that mindset, that energy starts flowing through our aura. Then we start attracting, again, the situations, the circumstances where we're in the position of kind of being a victim. And it's not until we start taking a little bit of responsibility and start clearing the energy from our aura that we're not in those situations anymore. And victim is a really kind of disempowered place to be, because it doesn't feel like we have any control over the situation. It's just not somewhere that we really want to be. So if you can think in your life, anytime that you've been a victim, maybe someone's stolen from you, cash from your wallet, or um, anything like that. Maybe a victim of a hit and run. Even it can even be abuse, some type of abuse. You can be a victim of abuse. So once you start clearing that victim energy, you're less likely to start attracting that energy out into the future. The next one is shame. And I have a friend, and when somebody does something she doesn't like, she likes to make them feel shame so that they feel bad and they come apologize to her. So that can happen. People can shame us for different things, for actions, for choices that we've made. We can shame ourselves. And again, when we're holding the energy of shame, we're going to be attracting those situations and circumstances where we're in that energy of shame. And another energy that can go along with shame that is not on the list in this video is humiliation or embarrassment. So those are two energies that potentially you could clear from your aura as well, as humiliation and embarrassment. And those are kind of go with shame a little bit, because you might feel embarrassed if you're shamed about something. The next energy is the martyr. And the martyr, in my opinion, is somebody that has to work gruelingly hard to get anything that they need. The martyr is kind of like a sacrificed, someone that feels like they have to sacrifice. Reward comes from grueling work. They might even feel like they have to be punished, and in order to get rewarded, there's some kind of like detriment that has to happen before something good can happen. You might hear this person, they might be saying, I've got to work at this job that I hate for the next 10 years, and then, something good will happen, but they're torturing themselves along the way. Basically, this can also be somebody through their life, they were kind of a nobody. And after death, they're really kind of a legend or something like that. So that can be the martyr. And it's a good idea to release that energy from the aura in different spaces. The next energy is fear. And fear can leave us feeling pretty disempowered. Fear can keep us from taking the next step. Fear can keep us kind of small. So if you can think of all the times that you've ever been scared of something or in fear, maybe it's to leave a relationship, maybe it's to switch a job, maybe it's to move, maybe even day-to-day decisions, you feel fearful, or you see something on the news, you're in fear. These energies that energy just attracts more fear. So more begets more in regards to any of these energies. So when we're clearing these energies from the aura, we're less likely to attract them out into our future. So fear, lies, the energy of lies. Have you ever been lied to? It doesn't even feel good in the gut when someone's lying to you. It kind of makes you feel sick. And we can store the energy of lies that we've been told, or if we're believing in something that really isn't true. Maybe we're holding beliefs within our body um, that aren't really true for us anymore. This can be a lie even to ourselves. So by releasing the energy of lies from our aura, um, it's going to free us up even more. We're able to be more authentic, more true to ourselves, more true to others. We're able to receive more truth from others too when we're not holding on to the energy of lies. Betrayal. Have you ever been betrayed? We can hold the energy of betrayal within our aura. If we've ever been cheated on by a partner, or maybe even a friend, maybe people have badmouthed you. Maybe you've been badmouthed. People have talked behind your back. The energy of betrayal. That's a freeing energy to release from your aura, the energy of betrayal. And again, we're not attracting that out into the future once we've released it from our aura. Deceit. Have you ever been deceived? It's kind of like lies, but deceit is even deeper. It's almost got an evil vibe to it. Um, it's really really tricky and really kind of snake like a deceit. Someone's deceived you. You know, even a kind of an easy example of this is you've been at the store and you've handed somebody a $20 bill and your change is $15, and they only give you back 10, but they say that they've given you, you know, your correct change back, and that's not true. They're deceiving you in the change so they can pocket that $5. That's a pretty good idea, example of deceit. Corruption. We think about corruption kind of in politics. What's true and what's not. Who's um, who's really doing good and who's really doing evil up on that stage. Who the corruption, what's going on behind the scenes, really. So by releasing that energy from our aura, we're not attracting corruption out into the future. Um, Even if it's dormant within our aura, we're releasing it from our aura. And the great thing about space clearing and aura healing is that once we start releasing these types of energies, we're just one body or one beingness of the whole. But what you do to one, you do to all, right? So as you start to change and as you start releasing these types of energies from your aura, the people around you will automatically start releasing it too. It's not a guarantee, it's not a given, but once you start doing this kind of work and releasing these types of energies from your aura, people around you do start to change. Because once you start to change, they start to change. Once your energies changes, their energy starts changing. And it's kind of like you do one thing to the one, you do it to the whole. It's just kind of like a puddle of water. If you drop a drop of red food coloring into it, you've kind of contaminated the whole water with kind of a red color, right? Well, all of these energies that we hold on to, we've accumulated them from lifetime to lifetime. And even in this lifetime, with all of our experiences, once we start releasing them, it just releases it from the whole of collective consciousness. So it's great internal work to do for yourself, but it's also got a greater purpose and a greater meaning too. The next set of energies from the 30 plus energies is the energy of disease, illness, sickness, disorder, trauma, abuse, pessimism, and despair. So I'm going to go through the next energies kind of quick. And, I'll share a quick story with you. I had moved to Indiana for about 3 years, and I was up in my room one night. I had like a bungalow. That's the style house I had. It's kind of like a bungalow. I had like an attic room upstairs. And I was laying in bed when I started to get a sore throat. And this is kind of around the time when I started doing a lot more aura space clearing. And I got into my disease space and my illness space and my sickness space and my disorder space. And I started clearing the energy and the belief that, every winter, I have to get sick. I've heard that as a kid. It's fall, you're going to catch cold. It's cold outside. So I started releasing that energy. I started releasing the energy of sore throat. I started releasing the energy of inflammation. I started releasing the energy of infection, and that's for throat. I'm not kidding. Started clearing up right away. So for me, that's true that I rarely get sick anymore. That's been about 6 years now since I did that healing or that space clearing, my disease space, my illness space, my sickness space, my disorder space, and I cleared all of those energies from those spaces. I cleared my 30 plus energies from those spaces, and I haven't been sick since then. And I'm not saying that that's true for everybody that does that, but for me, that's true. And if you are ill or sick or you have some type of disorder, please do always work with your mental health provider or your um, primary care physician. If you have any of those kind of ailments, always talk to your doctor. But meditation and energy work can go hand in hand with that. The next set of energies that I always clear from this 30 plus list is the energy of racism, bigotry, prejudice, and ignorance. So, I mean, racism um, is great to clear. Bigotry, you know, we have people that think that their beliefs are greater than somebody else's, and that because they hold a belief, somebody else's belief is irrelevant or not important. So the energy of bigotry, ignorance is a great one to clear. You know, have you ever have you ever spoken about something or have really come to the wrong conclusion because you didn't have all of the information? So once we start clearing that energy of kind of ignorance, it strengthens our inner knowing because we're able to get answers a little bit easier. We're not attracting the people that are ignorant into our reality, and we're not acting from an ignorant space as much. If you ever have, once you start releasing that type of energy, the next set of energies from the list is lack, poverty, and indigence. So this has to do with money, a little bit, or anything that you need that you don't feel like you have. So lack, not having enough of what you need. Um, Poverty, extreme lack, and indigence is even a more extreme lack than poverty. So to me, those three go hand in hand. Once you start releasing those energies from your aura, you have less scarcity. I mean, you can even be in lack of fun. Maybe you're not having enough fun, or maybe in lack of time. You know, you can be impoverished in time or impoverished in fun. It doesn't necessarily have to be about money, but it can be. So, the next set of energies is worry, anxiety, doubt, uncertainty, loneliness, and isolation. So those six are kind of big. You know, we want to clear out the anxiety. If you've ever felt anxiety, you can release that from your aura. Loneliness. I've talked to so many people, and they're like, you know, I'm in a group of people, and I still feel alone. So clearing the loneliness from your aura, it's going to help you connect with people. The isolation, it's going to get you out of the house more. And once you start clearing energies, you start gravitating towards other things. So I'll explain that here in a moment a little bit more. But the last two things I on the energy list are resistance. So sometimes with resistance, if we're resisting something, we can attract it more. And then also with resistance, we can also be pushing something away. So for instance, the other day, I really needed to clean my house. I did. It was so messy. I needed to shampoo my carpets. I hadn't done that in about 4 months. I just got another puppy. I've been looking around like, oh, if I do it, it's just going to get dirty again. I was making all of these excuses. And I got in my cleaning space, and I always clear these 30 plus energies from any space that I'm working with. And I got in my clearing space or my cleaning space, and I cleared the 30 plus energies, but I also cleared the energy of resistance. And within an hour or two, I started feeling motivated from within to actually pull back my carpets, vacuum them, clean them with the carpet shampooer. And it took me all day. It took me a little bit longer than it normally does. I still was kind of procrastinating, but because I cleared that resistance from my cleaning space, I was able to straighten my home, do some dusting, things that I needed to do around here to get it to more of my standard. But it wasn't until I cleaned that cleared that cleaning space the other day that I was able to actually get up and get the motivation to do it. So sometimes after clearing a space, you'll feel more motivated to actually take action and to move forward in whatever way you want to, depending on what space you're clearing. Um, so I want to talk about the spaces a little bit. There's pretty much a space that is within your aura or that can be created to work with whatever energy you want to clear. So I mentioned the energy of betrayal. So if you were working with the space, you could potentially work with just your general aura space. You could picture your aura out in front of you and you could clear the energy of betrayal. But the way I like to teach space clearing or aura healing is individual spaces within the aura. So there's the aura, and then let's say you were working with the energy of betrayal. You've been betrayed. Maybe you noticed it at work. You had the awareness that my coworker just really betrayed me in the way that they kind of threw me under the bus when I thought they would never do that to me, or something like that. You could potentially clear your workspace and clear the energy of betrayal out of your workspace. Then you could work with your coworker space, your kind of general coworker space, and you could clear the energy of betrayal from your coworker space. So you'd be at this point clearing two spaces. And maybe within your family, you've felt some betrayal for a while or something like that. So you kind of become aware of the energy. And then you kind of also become aware of what spaces that energy or several energies are showing up in. And that's how you'll know what energies to clear and what spaces to clear them with. So potentially, if you were working with clearing betrayal, you could clear it, in this example, your coworker space, your workspace, and then if you felt that energy in your family space, you could clear it from your family space. And what you'd notice is you wouldn't be a match to that as much anymore. You wouldn't be attracting it in those spaces anymore. So these are some ways that you can use space clearing and aura healing to attract less of what you least desire. And I know for me, when I came across this 30 plus energies and I started creating the list that I have that's in my book, Creative Intuitive Solutions Spaces, Ryan Zink Meditation, when I started building that list, and I started clearing those energies from all these different spaces as I was becoming aware of myself and I was doing personal development. And I was becoming self-aware. When I was becoming aware of spaces to clear, it felt so liberating. And it's like sometimes I would be in meditation clearing a space and I could feel like past anger just leave my body. And I didn't know I was holding it there because we become numb to the energies sometimes. They're just kind of running in the background. They've been there so long, we don't realize they're there. But once we start releasing them, wow, I felt like tingling in my body at some points. I just felt a major relief. My posture got a little bit different. Um, recently, within the past year, I started working with my weight loss space, and I cleared these 30 plus energies from my weight loss space. And especially the energy of resistance, being in resistance to losing weight. And I've lost 45 pounds. So this energy clearing and space clearing, it really does work. And it's all outlined in my book, Spaces, if you want to go ahead and get yourself a copy. It's available on Amazon, amazon.com/author/Ryan Zink. And anyway, video just gives you an idea of some of the energies that you could potentially clear from your many energetic spaces within your aura. I hope it was helpful. Hope it gave your mind some creativity and some imagination started sparking off in your brain, and that it kind of helped you expand into what may be possible with meditation and energy work. I'm Ryan Zink. Have a great night.